What's crackalacking, guys? I'm a Duck Quack here, and welcome back to another video about the upcoming Player of the Month, so the Player of the Month for March. In this video, we're going to have a little look at the candidates that I believe have the best chance going into the final game of the month. Now, as you can see, we've got quite a few here. Some of them are massive outsiders, some of them are a lot less likely, but we're going to discuss most of them in just a little bit more detail than normal. So the first player we're going to look at is going to be Arnautovic. Now, he plays for Stoke, as you can see. He's had 2 games for Stoke this month, but he's only played in one of them, which is something that puts me off ever so slightly. In the first game, Stoke played against Middlesbrough, and Arnautovic got 2 goals and an 8.8 rating on Who Scored. He was also man of the match. Now, in the second game against Man City, he didn't feature at all, but the final game of the month, they are playing against Chelsea. A big performance here from him could easily put him as one of the front runners for this award. Seeing as Chelsea are so far ahead, it could look very favourable in the judges' eyes if he was to bag a couple and Stoke were to go on to win. The second player we're going to have a look at is this month's winner, Harry Kane. Now, I don't believe he should have won this month, but that's for a different video. Going into the month of March, Tottenham have only played 1 game, and they played against Everton. Now, they won that game 3-2, I think it was. Kane scored 2 of the goals, he got an 8.7 rating, and he was man of the match. Now, they only have 1 game left as well, obviously, and this game's against Southampton. So because he's only playing 2 games again, he's going to have to put in a massive performance, but on the form he's on, a hat-trick isn't something I'd put past him. If he does bag himself a hat-trick or something incredible like that, he could definitely be a contender to win it for the 2nd month in a row. So then we get on to Lukaku. Now, Lukaku only just missed out on last month's award to Kane. Even though they had the same amount of great games, they both had 2 good games. One of them was a hat-trick for both of them, and one of them they scored a goal in each. Lukaku had 2 bad games, while Kane only had 1 bad game. Maybe that's what swung it. I guess we'll never know, though. In this month, though, Lukaku has scored 1 goal. And now that goal was actually in a loss against Tottenham. The first goal. The 3-2 loss they suffered. Lukaku did get a goal. He did get a 7.5 rating, but that's not going to be enough alone. The second game that Everton played was against West Brom. Now Lukaku managed to bag himself both a goal and an assist in that. He got an 8.5 rating and man of the match. Now that's a fairly impressive performance, but as it stands, he's still a long way behind other contenders. He's going to need a decent game in the last match against Hull, maybe bagging himself 2 or 3 goals to really put himself in with a real chance. We then got onto a couple of Liverpool players that I've included in here. So we've got Firmino and we've got Mane. Now, Liverpool have won both their games so far this month. They played against Arsenal, in which Firmino got a goal, an assist, an 8.7 rating, and a man of the match award. Mane in this game, he also got a goal, an assist, and an 8.6 rating. So both of them got off to a flying start against Arsenal. Their second game of the month was against Burnley. Now, Firmino didn't feature at all here, which again really hurts his chances in my opinion. Mane did play, but although he played a pretty solid game, he didn't get any goals, assists, or anything like that, and ended up with a 7.0 rating. Their final game of the month, however, is against Man City, so a big performance from the guys here could really cement their chances once again. We then come on to the unexpected superstar of the month so far. We've got King, the Bournemouth striker. Now, so far, Bournemouth have played 2 games this month. They had a draw against United, in which King scored and achieved a 7.9 rating, and then they went on to play West Ham. In this game, King managed to bag himself a hat-trick, even though he missed a penalty as well in there, so he could have had 4. He got a 9.9 rating and a man of the match award. So a goal against United earning Bournemouth a point, and 3 goals against West Ham, securing the win and giving him almost a perfect performance. This guy is definitely the current front-runner. If he goes on to have a solid game in their final match of the month, then I can't see anyone beating him as it stands. This is why we should probably start thinking about investments. So whoever you feel is going to win this, you should be looking at their nation, looking at their club, looking at their fixtures, whatever you feel is going to be included, and start investing. As you can see, if you think it's going to be King, you want to start looking at Norway players. Check out his previous clubs, Bournemouth players. It's all the obvious stuff. On the bench, you can see that I've got a few other players as well. So we'll start with the Southampton boys. They played one game so far this month against Watford, and 3 of them had a pretty solid game. So we'll start with Gabbiadini. Gabbiadini had 1 goal and a 7.8 rating. On its own, not going to even be nearly enough. He'd need something absolutely incredible against Spurs to even have a chance. We've also got Tadic. Now, he got 1 goal, 2 assists, and an 8.8 rating. An extremely solid performance. If he shows up big time against Spurs, he could cement himself as a front runner in this. And then we've got Redmond, the star of the first game. Now, Redmond scored 2 goals, got a 9.7 rating, and man of the match. If he shows up against Tottenham, he could definitely be giving the likes of King a run for their money. I've also included a couple of Leicester players. Now, it's not specifically Mahrez and Vardy, but Leicester have rebounded massively recently with 2 huge wins. If they go on to win the next game in the month, which will only be their 2nd game this month, the Liverpool game fell just before, but if there's another huge performance, then they do have an outside chance. I definitely wouldn't expect a Leicester player to win, but it's definitely worth bringing up to conversation just in case something ridiculous happens and Vardy scores 6 or something off the back of an already solid performance. Anyway, guys, they are the front runners in my opinion, at least. If you guys think that I've missed someone or you have any options or feedback or advice, then drop it down in the comments. I'd always love a good discussion. If you enjoyed this video, if you could drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and follow me down on my Twitter, which I'll leave in the description. That would be absolutely incredible. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.